Well, welcome to Focus Today. I'm your host, Perry Atkinson, and we got a great program put together for you today. And to start things off, we are delighted to have in the studio with us today Richard Giles. He heads up really an important ministry, TruckStop Ministries. Yep, he ministers to truckers. Takes one to know one, right, Richard? Is that what it does?
You've always said, I've heard you say it a number of times, what God brings you through, He makes you a minister of.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we want to get a little bit of an update because you've been doing this for quite a while.
Actually, yes. Since I got involved in 2003, and we started the ministry at the Petro in Phoenix in February of 04. So we're coming up on 10 years.
That's wonderful.
Ministry at this one particular truck stop.
All right. So what is TruckStop Ministries? What do you guys do?
We minister to truck drivers that don't ordinarily have the opportunity to get to church, like you and I do here at home. Mm-hmm. They're out there on the highways and byways, traveling 3, 5, 6 months at a time. Some of them permanently, constantly. They don't even. Some of them have given up their homes to do this on the highway. And husband and wife travel together, or sometimes it's just the husband, just the guys driving, or even the women now, permanently on the road. And I was amazed at how many women are actually driving solo out there on the highway nowadays.
All right, so you have resources. You give them those Bibles, right?
Absolutely. Yes, we give them New Testaments, and anytime any driver comes to our fellowship meeting, they're welcome to them. And all of our materials that we have at the truck stop for the fellowship meetings are available to the drivers for free.
Now, are there chapels available at these truck stops? How does that work?
There are. Well, right now we have ongoing. I think it's said the latest number is 82 ministries ongoing across the country, and of course there's been a number of them come and go, but right now we have actually 82 operating ministries. All
right, now you particularly up and down the I-5 corridor in some of the areas that you're involved in, you have a need, and that is you're looking for a trailer to convert to. Is that right?
Yes.
So what do you have in mind there?
Most of our truck stops have permanent locations where they have a trailer that's a converted freight trailer. Right. Okay, but it's not conducive of moving from one location to another very easy. You have to have an 18-wheeler type tractor to move them. But what I'm looking for is we're looking at expanding our ministry here locally. And I want to be able to move from truck stop to truck stop weekly with our chapel. And so what I need is something I can pull with my pickup.
Oh, okay.
And so far, everybody that's been involved in our ministry here has had a pickup, and like chaplain-wise and assistants. But we need something in the way of
like one of those covered cargo trailers.
No.
Or you want a flatbed, or what do you want?
An RV type toy hauler.
Okay.
We've come to the conclusion that that's probably our best means of ministering. What we can do if the toy hauler is already empty inside.
Right.
And with minimal living quarters in the front.
Right.
The living quarters we're not necessarily interested in,
right,
except maybe for storage and maybe an office. But basically, with a 35 foot toy hauler with a tongue, not a fifth wheel type, because not everybody can pull a fifth wheel.
Right.
So we get the tongue pull trailer with a drop down gate on the back, and then we can operate out of that and just set up chairs, and we're in business.
All right, well, pray about that. If you have one and you're not using it, there you go. Amen. If you know of one that can be picked up fairly reasonable, let Richard know. But you call them a toy haulers. I know that's got the ramp that goes down the back. You know, chances are you can serve a little coffee, hand out Bibles, and give them Jesus, huh?
Amen.
All right. Now, where do you primarily concentrate? Are you here? What truck stops do you work for?
Well, right now we're just at the Petro. In Phoenix.
Right.
And we've been, like I say, we've been there for 10 years now, or come February it'll be 10 years. And we want to expand to other truck stops in the area. We haven't gotten approval on that yet, but we don't have the equipment yet either. So such time we get the equipment, we'll work on moving. But we need the chapel in the parking lot to reach more drivers where we're at even.
All right. How does a driver get a prayer request to you? I mean, if they're listening today and they're driving up and down the road, how do they get in contact with you?
We have a 1-800, 24-hour 1-800 prayer line.
All right. And it's 1-800-248-8662. Again, 1-800-248-8662 is a 24-hour prayer line for truckers. Wow, that's terrific.
And they answer that during the business days, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 in the office down there, Eastern time.
Okay.
And other than that, there's somebody on that line 24 hours a day.
Do you need help, volunteers, people to work
Absolutely.
with? Really?
We can use more chat. Well, as you can see on, well, no, I guess I didn't bring that one. Yes. We had a chaplain, John Powell, who just passed away, and just a month or two ago. And so we're down to me and my wife and another assistant, John Carter.
Okay.
And that's where we're at right now. We need more chaplains and we need more assistants.
And you'll train them what to do?
Absolutely.
All right, so maybe you're a trucker or you are a retired trucker or whatever the Lord's leading you to do and you want to get involved in this ministry. How do they get a hold of you, Richard? What should they do? They
can call me at my phone number, which would be 541-531-0618.
Okay.
Or they can call the TruckStop Ministries number that's on the back of that newsletter, the 800 number,
right,
or the 770 number, whichever one they care to call.
All right.
Just if they don't remember my phone number, they can get a hold of them. They can tell them how to contact me. Any donations that anybody cares to or feels led to contribute to the effort for the trailer can be contributed through the ministry.
Okay.
The 800 number or the website on there that's TruckStopMinistries.org.
Okay.
And that tells them you can follow the instructions on the website as to where to donate, and they can designate to a particular, and in this case that's what they want to do. If they want to give to this trailer effort, then they can donate to Medford Trailer.
Okay. Let me kind of recap this. If you know of a toy hauler, those of you who are into RVing, you'll know what that is. And he wants one with a tongue, not with a fifth wheel, and that could be converted into a portable or a mobile chapel. Yep. Get a hold of Richard. Again, 541-531-0618. If you want to contribute to that, you can call him on that. If you want to get involved in this ministry, you can call him on that. And have you ever thought about becoming a missionary trucker?
Yes.
What's a missionary trucker?
We have a program with TruckStop Ministries that they call missionary drivers. Missionary drivers. And if you notice, if you look in the newsletter on that website, it'll show you in there where these missionary drivers have reached. As our numbers this year are all published in the newsletter on the website, and I can't remember. They got something like 2,200 interviews this year by missionary drivers alone.
Wow!
And we've got, I think, 18 right now that are out there, actual drivers on the road hauling freight that minister to their own peers on the highway, and have won as 600 or 700, I believe, to Christ.
Wow!
And just during the year, and then all of our numbers are posted on the website as far as visitors to our ministry and the conversions made.
All right, check it out, TruckStopMinistries.org. And for those listening in the immediate area and watching in the immediate area, and you want to get involved in this, get a hold of Richard, 541-531-0618. And keep your eyes open for a toy hauler. You RVers know what that is. And if you know of one that's fairly reasonable or one that wants to be donated, it could instantly be turned into a truck stop chapel.
Absolutely.
And put into the Lord's work right away. Well, Richard, thank you for what you do. And I know you've been very faithful to this. And if you want to get together, work with him, trained to be a chaplain at a truck stop or trained to be a missionary driver, get a hold of Richard for that as well. Again, the number is 541-531-0618, or you can check it all out and they'll lead you right back to Richard by going to TruckStopMinistries.org. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, sir.
Merry Christmas to you. Okay.
Merry Christmas to you.
We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Paulina and I work at theDove TV. Did you know that when you support theDove TV, you have a profound impact, not only in our community, but around the world? It's your continued support that takes the inspiration and hope in the programs we produce and makes them available to the thousands of people who are watching these videos online every week. Help bring encouragement and hope to our valley and beyond by making a secure online donation today at our website, thedove.us.
Oh yeah, we have a snow day cake. So for those of you, maybe even us, who are going to be snowed in today, well, we're going to celebrate and have some cake. All right. Hey, listen, we want to bring to you an interview that I did a couple of days ago because we had just huge response to it, and so many people want to hear it again. Dr. Kevin Leman, he's our buddy, and he writes books, as you know. His premier book is the Birth Order book, and Have a New Kid by Friday, Have a New Husband by Friday, Have a New Teenager by Friday, and a list of other things that he's written. So many books, I think over 50 some odd books that he's written. Well, his latest one is another bestseller, Parenting Your Powerful Child. Now, what's interesting about this book, it not only applies to kids, but I think it applies to adults. And if you have a kid that's kind of dominating things, or maybe somebody in the office is dominating things, I think you'll find our time together with Dr. Kevin Leman to be pretty resourceful. So let's join him right now as we talk about his new book, Parenting Your Powerful Child, with Dr. Kevin Leman. Well, guess who we have on the show today? Somebody that needs no introduction, our very good friend, Dr. Kevin Leman's with us today. And of course, you know him from the Birth Order book and Have a New Kid by Friday, Have a New Husband by Friday, Catch a Salmon on Saturday, and Kill a Dog on Tuesday. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Kevin Leman. How you doing, friend?
Well, I'm doing well. You know, I've been really busy. I've been all over the country, and since Parenting Your Powerful Child has come out, they've kept me hopping. I've been speaking. Last week I was in South Carolina, Pennsylvania, New York, Texas, and Colorado, to give you an idea. So it's been a while, but I knew when I wrote this book that it was going to scratch where parents itch. And kids today are powerful. And I thought about doing this book because there's been a lot written, Perry, about strong-willed children. Mm-hmm. I think strong-willed children, quite frankly, get a bad rap. I want my kids to be strong-willed. I want my kids to be kids of conviction. And to stand up for what they believe in. So I don't think there's anything wrong with having a strong-willed child, but today we've got these kids that are powerful, and the difference in the strong-willed child and the powerful child is simple. A powerful child has an agenda. They want to win, they want to dominate, they want to control, and they have to have the last word. So if you got a kid like that hanging around your house, stay with us.
Whoa. Well, does every family have a powerful kid?
You know, believe it or not, most of them do. And they're growing in numbers. I mean, I think parents feel like General Custer on his last day on this earth. Or have you ever played whack-a-mole in an amusement park?
Yeah.
That's a little bit like being a parent today. I'll tell you, it's wild. Kids today are power-driven, and they have a sense of license to them. I mean, take a look around our country. You know more about politics than I do, but we are the entitlement nation of the world, and people feel like you owe me, and that's how kids are today. They're more hedonistic than they were when I called them hedonistic little buzzards back in 1984 when I wrote the book, Making Children Mine Without Losing Yours.
Wow. All right, so Kevin, are you suggesting that this may be cultural or is it genetic? Where are you? Is this on the rise? Powerful kids on the rise?
Oh, yeah, it's way on the rise. And we're teaching the kids to be powerful. Now, let me give you an example. Let's take 17-month-old little Fletcher. And Fletcher is about to have his dinner, and Dad picks him up and puts him in his high chair. Well, he tries to put him in his high chair. Fletcher has decided he doesn't want to be in that high chair. And I'm telling you that that kid at 17 months of age can contort their body in such a way that it's a physical impossibility to get that little sucker in there. In fact, if they had a sport at the Olympics called arching your back, this kid could win Olympic gold.
Wow.
Now, watching this fiasco, Mom, just trying to be helpful, says, honey, just give him to me. I'll take him. And she takes him and puts him on her lap and proceeds to spoon feed him his dinner. Now, you be Fletcher for a minute, Perry. Would you rather sit on Mommy's warm, soft lap, or would you rather sit in the cheap plastic chair they bought at Walmart?
There you go. Whoa.
So we teach kids to be powerful.
Wow. So they get winning even that scrimmage at that age.
Oh, yeah. The kid in the mall who whines for a treat, and the parent tells him, no, we're not going to have any candy now. I told you for the last time. 10 minutes later, all right. But then there's no more candy for life. Do you understand me? No more candy for life. So not only do we cave in, but we make fools of ourselves.
Wow. All right. So let's go back to spotting the possibility that your kid's going to be powerful. I mean, maybe the high chair one is the first indication. Are there others?
Yes. In fact, there's a great diagnostic tool to determine whether your kid is strong-willed or powerful. And here it is. If you feel annoyed by your child's behavior, you have an attention getter that is strong-willed. If you feel provoked by your child's behavior and you want to sort of take his little nose and rub it in it, you're telling yourself, you can't do this to me. Do you know who I am? I am your mother. I am your dad. Welcome to the world of the powerful child. That's what you have on your hands. So it's really simple to differentiate the two. The strong-willed children, I don't worry that much about, okay? But the powerful children, I'll tell you, if you're a mom and you're rearing a son that's powerful today, here's the guarantee. He's going to be a lousy husband.
Really?
Because he's going to be a controller.
Whoa.
And women don't like control. Have you ever tried to control your wife? I know your wife, so you better answer this truthfully.
No, I just give her everything she wants.
You're not only good looking, you're smart. Well, you can do that with your wife. You know, you sleep right next to her, but with kids, you can't give them everything they want.
Yeah.
Because they're immature and they want everything and they want it instantly.
All right. What does a parent's tone of voice have to do with this and responding?
It has a lot. We teach kids by our gestures, the look on our face, okay? Again, I brought this up in the book, Have a New Kid by Friday. Fighting is an act of cooperation, okay? And so kids sort of throw the bait out for us, and like fools, we jump in. And there's a parallel here for all women who are watching us right now, okay? Or listening. Here's the deal. Your kid is like your husband. And speaking for every man on the planet, ladies, we don't like it when you ask us questions. Stop it, okay? And we don't like the why word either. And the same thing applies with your kids. So if you're always asking your kids questions, they're going to shut down. They're going to just flip you a bone, answer, fine, nothing, and grunt, and that's it. You're not going to have the dialogue that you want with your kid, which means you're not going to have the impact on your kid's life you'd like to have.
Wow. All right, so...
Another example, quickly. Your 17-year-old son comes to you and says, they want to go to a rock concert.
Okay.
Here's the traditional Christian parent who is steeped in authoritarianism. This is what he says. Hey, we're not spending our hard-earned money to send you to some concert to hear some goofball sing.
Okay.
There's the typical answer. What I'd like the parent to be able to do is say, well, honey, who's performing? Who? Now, I guarantee you, parent, you've never heard of this group, and the name doesn't sound like it possibly could even belong to a group, okay?
Right.
But say to your kid, honey, I don't know them. Do you have a CD of their stuff? You do? Hey, go get it. Let's go for a quick ride with me in the car. Come on. And go for a ride with your kid for 10 minutes. And as soon as he puts that CD in, or she puts it in, say one thing. Say, oh, wow, turn it up louder. Right there and there, you've got your kid on his backside.
Wow.
You've never said, turn that music up.
Right.
Okay? And it might be a rap song, it might be a country song, or a combination, which I call crap. But whatever it is, Harry, find some ways of discussing of what's happening. Am I saying you have to give in and let your kid go to every concert that comes down the pike? No. What I'm saying is, if you want to have a relationship, then you have to exchange ideas and you have to see life from behind his or her eyes.
Wow, that's golden. Well, listen, you know, a powerful child can suck the oxygen out of the room, and the compliant child gets no attention. What kind of damage can be done there?
Well, this is what's interesting. In Parenting Your Powerful Child, I talk about the different types of powerful children. And when people tell me about their little child, oh, Dr. Leman, little Hillary is a very sensitive child, very shy. As soon as I hear that, Perry, I reach for my wallet. I don't trust that kid because shy, sensitive children, many, many times, more often than not, are powerful little suckers. And they manipulate you through their shyness. You have to walk around them with eggshells. It's easy to spot the kid that's flamboyant, the kid that slams doors and rolls her eyes and throws things and has a hissy fit. But these other kids, these manipulative kids, these quiet kids, can be extremely powerful. If you don't think that's true, ask any man on the street, how does he feel when his wife cries? And can tears be a great manipulative sledgehammer for a wife to use on her husband? Wow. The same is true of children to their parents.
All right, let me take a quick break here. We have Dr. Kevin Leman. His new book is called Parenting Your Powerful Child, and there's a picture up there on the screen. Let me encourage you to check it out, and at the bookstores over at Evangel, maybe Christian Discount Books, online at Amazon, Barnes & Noble. And if you have a powerful child, or you think you do, this is a real resource. When we come back, we're going to talk to him. How do you redirect that attention? How do you redirect that energy? Dr. Kevin Leman, we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Daniel and I work at theDove TV. You know, compared to Portland, Seattle, and LA, Medford might be considered a small market, but at theDove, we're excited about the opportunity to make a big impact right here in our community. And you help make that happen. Did you know that more than 90% of our income comes from people like you? You can help us now by making a secure online donation at our website, thedove.us, or by phoning 541-776-5368.
Okay, we're back with Dr. Kevin Leman and our good friend. We got to get him up here fishing because he looks like he needs some time off.
When are you bringing me up to the Rogue Valley?
We got to get you back up here. We're right in the middle of a building project, Kevin. So we finally got our own building after 30 years.
Forget the building project. What is more important, salmon and steelies or building?
Yeah. Well, you know, you came out with the birth order book. We took you fishing on the Rogue River, and you pegged me as a firstborn. And you were totally wrong. I was a middle.
You know, that is one of the mysteries of life. Because you have flown airplanes.
Yeah.
You are a very exacting person.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, I want you to fly to Tucson.
And pick you up and bring you back here?
No, for intensive therapy, because there's something wrong with it.
I'm coming down. Peggy probably will okay that trip.
Yeah, she's the one that suggested I bring that up.
Okay. All right, we're talking about Kevin's new book, Parenting Your Powerful Child, and there's a picture of it there on the screen, and let me encourage you to check it out at the bookstores. This is already a bestseller, and if one of your kids is pretty powerful and dominating, you may want to pick this up as a resource. All right, now, often parents kind of lose the volume battle with communication. What do you recommend when you're dealing with a kid that's maybe yelling back at you or goes deep running? How do you not raise your voice?
Well, lots of times what they're yelling about is absolutely something stupid that doesn't make any sense. Mm-hmm. And one of the best curveballs you can do to that kid is simply look him in the eye and say, honey, you could be right. I mean, remove your sails, parents, from your child's eyes. Or from their wind, okay? Remove your sails from the child's wind. Yeah. If you're going to ante it up and you're going to get in a power struggle with your powerful child, I'm here to tell you you're going to lose. Don't go there. So you could be right. I never thought of it that way. Mm-hmm. If you have the constant battle getting your kids up in the morning for school, rather than yell and scream and be frustrated, and then, by the way, how do you feel once the kid gets on the bus for school and you don't feel very good about yourself, try this. Walk in and say, honey, I'm not sure you're even interested, but it's 8:20, and turn around and leave. Now, if he's late for school and you have to drive him, write a note that says, my son has absolutely no reason to be late today to school. Feel free to do whatever you do to kids who are illegally tardy, love mom. and just keep the tennis ball alive where it belongs. Okay. You know, there's only one way, Perry, of rearing kids that's reflective of God's teaching. Now, I want to remind everybody, I'm no Bible teacher, but I know this. God is not an authoritarian. Mm-hmm. He doesn't grab us by our earlobe and twist it and say, you will do this, you will do that. In fact, he loves us so much, he gave us free choice to either accept him or reject him. Mm-hmm. So the authoritarian parent, hey, don't make me come over there. You go do what I tell you to do. You understand me? Hey, you change the look on your face or I'll change it for you. Now, there's your authoritarian. Now, the permissive on the other side spawns rebellion as well. But this is a parent who wants their kid happy at every turn. They do their science project for them. They do their homework for them. They threaten, they bribe, they cajole, but they never hold the kid accountable. And they're great at making excuses when the kid's in trouble with somebody else. Mm-hmm. So the only true way of rearing kids is to be that authoritative parent. I'm an authoritarian, which means your 16-year-old's rushing in, looking for the keys to the car, and he was supposed to do something that day around the house, and he hasn't done it. And again, you haven't warned him. Hmm. Dad, I can't find the keys anywhere. Honey, you're not going to find the keys. They're here in my pocket. Well, give them to me. I got a date. I'm late. Honey, the car's not going anywhere at either of you. Now, yes, you're going to have a blowout. And yes, that kid will promise you anything. I mean, he'll paint the garage. He'll put the roof on the house. He'll pull weeds for life. Yeah. Just give me the keys to the car. Yeah. But see, that's the kind of discipline that an authoritative parent would use with a kid.
Wow. Does genetics have anything to do with this?
Yeah, it does, because there's some kids. You've met our daughter Holly. You know, she's married to Dean, and she's a great kid. She's a principal in a really tough school, English teacher by trade, went to Grove City College in Pennsylvania, a top-notch school, very, very bright kid. But her genes were such that as a kid, Sandy and I would have conversations like this. Well, honey, you better wake up Holly. We got to go. I'm not waking up Holly. I woke her up yesterday. You wake her up. Because she woke up swinging. Wow. I mean, there was a kid that her constitution, and there's all kinds of longitudinal studies where they study kids in nurseries and hospitals, and they can determine the kid's temperament. So people are hardwired differently. There's no two ways about it. But you can't let that be an excuse for kids learning maladaptive behavior. And that's the point I make in Parenting Your Powerful Child.
What does the home environment have to do to contribute to this?
It's got everything to do with it, because we teach kids. Number one, mom and dad, are you on the same page? Mm-hmm. If you're not, you're going to create a powerful child. Kids, and here's the kicker. I want you to keep in mind that your kids don't like it when you're unhappy with them. One of the best disciplines, when two kids are going after each other or whatever, is walk in the room, parent, look them both in the eye, or one of them in the eye, as the case might be, and say, I am very unhappy with what just went down here. Turn your back and walk away. Mm-hmm. Now, when you do that, Perry, you're raking coals over those kids.
Wow.
Because they don't like it when mom and dad are upset with them.
Wow. You have a chapter on grace-based parenting. What do you mean by that?
I mean, most parents, if they're honest, will tell you there's several times I've thought of either UPSing my children to a far-off land or getting a rope and killing them.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to understand. I mean, the guy that you're watching, people, I got thrown out of Cub Scouts, got thrown out of college, got thrown out of the 4th grade. What else did I do? I remember picking, it's almost Christmas, picking old Norwegian Christmas ornaments off the tree with my BB gun. From 30 feet.
Sounds kind of fun to me.
if you bought, it was a great sound. When you hit one, it was sort of a pop. Pop.
Yeah.
And
totally Oregonian.
I blamed it on the stupid cat, Puff.
Yeah.
So, you know, I was a handful. And when my mother, God rest her soul, she drove with me when I got put on the Wall of Fame at my high school, which is really funny. But they brought me back for a ceremony. We had a conversation like this. I said, hey, Ma, we fooled a few people, didn't we? She said, oh, honey. She said, I am so proud of you. I said, do you remember the night the cops brought me home? She said, oh, I do. But you were such a good boy. Mm. She said, remember the time I got caught driving golf balls toward the New York State Thruway? Oh, yes, I do. But you were such a good boy. And as she was wailing, I was such a good boy, all I could think of was, Perry, was Romans 8:39 that says, nothing separates you from the love of Christ. Mm-hmm. That's the way parents are, and you got to extend grace to kids. Kids are stupid. Mm-hmm. If you're offended by kids are stupid or kids are dumb as mud, I like to say it that way too. Call your insurance agent, folks, and ask him or her why you pay so much money for your 16 or 17-year-old kid to drive the family car. And the insurance salesperson is going to say something to the effect of, they're dumb as mud, that's why.
All right, so let me give you a little bit of a scenario. You're in a high energy moment with your powerful child, and in your mind, you see no win here. There's no way you're going to maybe overcome this moment. You talk about redirecting that power surge, getting it focused in another direction. How do you do that?
Well, with young kids, you pick them up and remove them from the scene. I mean, the little ankle biters.
Yeah.
Because they get powerful at a very early age, and they're going to show you, you know, that they're unhappy because you didn't do what you want them to do. You simply pick them up. You might put them in their room. You might close the door. With 16, 17-year-old, 14-year-old kids, you look them in the eye and say, honey, listen, I know you think that's true, and I understand your feelings on the subject, but we've discussed it, and the answer is no. You can get as angry about it as you want. It's okay to be angry. You can be disgusted with your parents, but we still love you, okay? Mm-hmm. And you can refuse to eat dinner. And your father said to tell you, if that's your choice, he's going to be happy because he's got that eye on that extra pork chop anyway. So in other words, you diffuse some of this stuff. You say, honey, if you want to be angry, you can be angry. But what you don't do is stoop to their level.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
If they say, well, how come she got that and I didn't get that? Well, honey, it's because your mother and I love her so much more than we love you. You know, put some humor.
Yeah.
You know, when I go and do a show like The View, I use as much humor as I can just for survival.
Right. Yeah.
And I think if you have a powerful child on your hands, you use humor. Don't go looking for trouble. They're weird to begin with.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, last question. Kind of tying these two books together, having a new child by Friday or a teenager by Friday and parenting a powerful child. Same tactics?
You know, I've got about 28,000 people on my Dr. Kevin Leman Facebook page. And I get that question all the time. And this is what I tell people. I said, read these two books together. Read Have a New Kid by Friday, Have a New Teenager by Friday, and complement that with Parenting Your Powerful Child. And if people are curious about the book, go on Amazon and just read the reviews of what people say about the book. Mm-hmm. I'd have to admit to you, I am vain enough to go on and I've read them, and I'm happy that it's a 5-star rated book, mm-hmm. which means it's jam-packed full of ideas for you, whether your kid is 23 and living at home and thinks they're not accountable to anybody, or a mouthy 17-year-old or a 13-year-old or a little ankle biter. There's a lot in the book for anybody who has kids of any age.
Well, Kevin, I got to scoot, but thank you for your time. We love you and Sandy and your family. Just a beautiful witness all the way around. Are you working on something new, a new book?
Yes, I just finished a book. Oh, it's a tearjerker called Be the Dad She Needs You to Be. It comes out May 18th. Wow. And then I'm trying my hand at fiction. I'm doing a trilogy about a very wealthy family where the oldest son wants to become president of the United States.
Call me. I'll give you some tips on Jason.
Well, you know,
yeah.
Hey, I want to leave you with one thing about your president, President Obama.
Yeah.
You know, he had a Portuguese water dog named Bo.
Yeah.
And he got another dog.
Right.
And you know, a man's best friend is his
dog.
And I think even Bo gave up on him.
Oh, really? That's a bad day.
So I think that's why he got a new dog.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Kevin. Thanks for your time.
Health care by the post office. I can't wait for it.
All right, see you later. All right, Dr. Kevin Leman, and what a hoot. You may want to check that out, Parenting a Powerful Child. All right, coming up next, really one of the great ministries in Southern Oregon, the Loft. We're going to get an update coming up here in just a few moments.
Hi, I'm Paula, and I work at theDove TV. Every day we get letters and emails from people who've been encouraged, blessed, and challenged by the programs on theDove TV. But we couldn't do it without you. Did you know that more than 90% of our income comes from people like you? You can help us continue to bring inspiration and hope to our community by making a secure online donation at our website, thedove.us, or call us at 541-776-5368.
Okay, we're back, and I'm delighted to have back in the studio with us Treva Kuyper. She is one of the co-leaders of the Loft, which is an outstanding ministry reaching out to young girls here in Southern Oregon, and got one of their great topics coming up. But Treva, first of all, those who don't know about the Loft, and I'm surprised they don't, but in case they don't, what is it?
The Loft is an outreach ministry to teen girls, 8th grade through 12th grade, and we meet during the school year once a month, the second Sunday night of every month, and we talk about different real-life topics like we talked about etiquette last month. We've talked about beauty. In 2 days on Sunday, we're talking about mean girls, toxic relationships, and bullying. So every month we have a different theme.
And this will go through until when?
June. June will be our last one, and then we'll start over again in September.
Well, I got to tell you, this ministry is touching young girls, and you know what? It's a reality check. I mean, you're really bringing it down to everyday life, and again, from 8th grade through 12th grade. Is it too late for a girl to come?
No, not at all. They can just show up. We are meeting this Sunday night at 5:30 at Community Bible Church in Central Point. We're going to celebrate Christmas this Sunday.
Yeah.
Have a little Christmas dinner. We're going to raffle off Christmas gifts and prizes. We do raffles every month. We try to make it fun for the girls, but we want to get into their hearts and speak truth into their lives in this crazy, crazy world that they live in.
And it is crazy. Now, how many girls you got?
We've had as much as 120 girls.
Wow.
So we have between 80 and 120 girls that show up every month.
Wow.
Yes.
All right, mean girls, bullying, and toxic relationships. Whoa, that's a mouthful.
Yes. A lot of our girls have seen a movie called Mean Girls. And in that, it just is the essence of how toxic and how mean we can be to one another. And we know that, even with boys, maybe they're more physically mean to one another, but with girls, we do it with our words. We attack each other, we undermine each other with our words. And so we want to address that this Sunday and talk to the girls about what it is to be a friend and what it is to stand up for each other and encourage each other. And can you get out of a bullying situation? Can you get out of a toxic relationship?
All right, the whole subject of bullying has just...
Oh my goodness.
You know, and I know we've had Paul Coughlin in who does seminars all over the country. He's considered a professional on it. And but bullying among girls?
Yes. Yes. And, when I was younger, it used to be just at school, you'd get picked on. People might say things that aren't true about you, try to slander you. But now with the internet, last month we did etiquette, online safety. And with the internet, it has escalated because now there's all these different tools that the kids can use against one another. So now there's slandering, there's the words back and forth. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. That is not true.
Yeah.
And so the girls walk around heavy-hearted because not only might they be attacked at school verbally or rumors are being spread, but it doesn't stay at school. It's online. So then they go home and there's all these things being said online. And there's websites that aren't monitored, that they can have that freedom to say whatever. And there's very little consequence to it.
What do you mean by toxic relationships?
The toxic relationships, we felt that bullying and toxic relationships went hand in hand for mean girls. Because oftentimes we're in a friendship and everything is wonderful. The girls have these great friendships, but then if something goes sour, we can turn on each other in an instant. And that friendship that was once maybe an encouragement can turn kind of poisonous and toxic. And any relationship at all, whether it's between a boy and a girl, they're dating, girlfriends, the friendship, or even in family members, they can be toxic if it makes you less than who you are meant to be, who God created you to be. We want the girls to know that they don't have to stay in those relationships. They don't have to be in a relationship that puts them down over and over again.
All right, so what are you going to be telling the girls? I mean, just say no, walk away? I mean, it's got to be more to it than that.
Yeah, it's hard. One of the emphasis that we want to make to the girls is we want to go back to, we always share truth with the girls and we share who Christ is in their life. And we want to go back to what is it to be an encourager and a friend to each other. So in way of bullying, that is just rampant right now. And it is hard to just walk away from it because if you have one girl and you have another group of kids that are attacking this one girl, it's hard to walk away from that group. But if that one girl has a group of friends that will stand up alongside her, now we have something to do. And we want to tell the girls too that, you know what, even though they may not want to say anything to a teacher, to a parent, to a youth leader, they should. We're really, really going to encourage the girls that they need to bring other people involved in that situation. They can't fight it on their own and they can't stand up to it on their own.
Well, everybody's plugged in today. They got some kind of a tablet or a phone, and so cyberbullying is certainly now starting to increase. And yet these kids, and I think even adults, we're addicted to these things. We want to see and know, but how do you counsel them about what can happen online or through these textings and all of that?
Well, this is why last month we did the topic of etiquette. We wanted to help the girls understand how dangerous the internet can be. They've all heard it, but we wanted to really show them a new perspective, that they do truly have to be so very careful online. It's the world we live on, or live in. It's all online. Their lives are mostly on their phone and on their laptop, and so we wanted to encourage them. So in way of cyberbullying, we want them to understand that if they are being attacked online, if there are people that are slandering them online, to get other people involved. They may have to go offline for a while. They may have to actually discontinue being on certain websites so that they're protected. They protect themselves, and we want to open their eyes to that.
I have a hard time equating girls with the word mean.
Yeah.
And yet it's true. I mean, so why are girls mean? I mean, what's the deal?
The girls, and I'm with you. I have a daughter who's a freshman, and she's precious. And the girls that in ministry that I've seen, hundreds and hundreds of teen girls, they are precious. They are precious, and I love them so much. But we have a sin nature, and so like I said, whereas boys might come out physically aggressive when they're angry, when girls get angry, they get mean. They get mean, and they get toxic with one another, and they want to take someone else down, really, by their character and their heart. I've seen it in myself when I was in high school. I've seen it in other people. And so we want to let the girls know that there's other ways to handle these things. We don't want to tear each other down. And at the Loft, one of the things I want to share with the girls is, at the Loft with 100 of them, I want to say, you know, this is a safe place for girls. I don't want that kind of stuff going on here.
I just want to also say, I think that's one of the key things about what's happening at the Loft. It's not only a safe place, but it's creating the friendships that can help and mentor and help these girls through that. So that brings, you know, the obvious question: how important is a friend outside of these toxic relationships? How important is a healthy friend?
Oh, it's so important. Every girl should have a small handful of friends that they can trust. And at the Loft, we have 25 leaders. I'm one of 3 directors, and then we have 25 leaders. So these girls have a friend who's an adult. They have a friend who's a mentor who will look out for them. And that's what we're trying to create, is not only the friendships in the Loft. You know, if they go to school and they don't have a lot of friends, my hope is that they can come to the Loft once a month and feel loved and encouraged and spurred on and feel like they have a foundation. Sometimes the girls don't have a strong home life. Maybe they come from a broken home. Maybe they come from an abusive home. So they don't know what a healthy relationship looks like. And that can spiral into a toxic relationship. That deficit can spiral into bullying.
How can you handle what you hear? I mean,
That's so funny.
I mean, you know, it's heart-wrenching, isn't it?
Yeah, and the reason why I say it's so funny is because those that know me know that sometimes I don't.
Yeah. That's all right. Yeah, you do any ounce of counseling, what kids are dealing with today isn't even close with what it was maybe when you were growing up, certainly not when I was growing up. And not only the toxic relationships, but the bullying, the whole thing. Patrick Doyle will tell you that if there's an angry person, beneath the anger is an injustice, a hurt and an injustice. At least they feel like they've been you know, mistreated in some way. And so that comes out in the form of anger and everything else like that.
Absolutely. And my heart breaks for them, because you know what it is? At the end of the day, the bottom line behind bullying, toxic relationships, anger, and how we react to people, it's a lack of feeling loved. It's a lack of feeling accepted. It's a lack of that security. And so when we pour truth into them, we want them to know that when we talk about Christ, when we talk about how much He loves them, it's not just something we're saying. We want them to know that they're loved. And if they can receive that truth once a month, then they can move forward. They can move forward in victory. We can help them get there.
Well, let me encourage you. We're just about out of time, and Treva is one of the co-leaders of the Loft. It's over at the Community Bible Church in Central Point. Meets second Sundays of the month. Coming up this Sunday. What time?
5:30. 2 days. In 2 days. 5:30 p.m. at Community Bible Church.
All right. Maybe you want to get your 8th grade to 12th grade girl there and go on in and make some good, healthy relationships. Treva, thank you. Keep up the good work. Look forward to having you back next month. We'll see you next time on Focus Today.
Hi, I'm Jim and I work at theDove TV. Every weekday between 6 and 8 a.m., our award-winning news and sports team bring you the best morning show around. It's live, it's honest, and it's a whole lot of fun. And you help make it happen. Did you know that more than 90% of our income comes from people like you? You can help us continue to air local programs that share your voice by making a secure online donation at our website, thedove.us.